Hello, everyone. Welcome to the LeRoy Butler Show. I
Oh,
think
no,
we're going to
stop.
call this the Hall of Fame edition. I thought maybe you'd be wearing your yellow jacket already.
Happening. I get sized tomorrow.
No
Um,
way.
yeah, you get sized tomorrow. You get your ring size tomorrow, and then something I'm looking forward to. You can do the bust with the artist guy, sculptor people,
Wow,
and I'm
wow,
not
they
really.
start that right away, huh?
Yeah, it takes a long time to do it, which is fine. I mean, I've waited this long. I could wait for that, but
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly. Well,
yeah.
all of us here at Packers News, JS Online, and I think all your fans want to congratulate you for a great honor. I mean, this is the pinnacle for NFL players' career. Can you
Yeah,
even can you feel it yet? Does it feel like it's real?
uh, yeah. I'll be honest because I just came from the luncheon, and I'm standing next to Jerry Jones and Chris Carter, and you feel like you're name dropping, but it's now as people that in the Hall of Fame. And Jerry Jones, he's so funny. He goes, "Man, I'm so upset that we're not in the Super Bowl," and I just love the pain on his face. And I was just laughing. He was laughing because I was laughing, but when you think about it, Tom, he's only under I think 370 some guys in the Hall of Fame, and I think only 170 something living. So when you're a part of that, it's I mean that's a small chance to make it. So to be one of the 8 people that they put in, it's a great honor. But I think it's a testament to the fans, man. The fans have been great, and the fans keep me very positive. But also, I think about my mom, the conversations we used to have when I was little, and that obviously gets very emotional.
Oh man, she probably knew that you were making you're the Hall of Fame. I mean, it's
You know, I mean, you're right about that because before she passed away, she wanted me to enjoy being a semifinalist because she was like, a lot of teammates and players, good players, may never get in the Hall of Fame. So just be respectful of the process, and I try to be as measured as possible. My kids tell me I'm probably one of the few guys that work hard not to be famous, but with the Hall of Fame, it does put you in an elite class. And one I forgot who said it today, but one of the guys said you're just amongst a bunch of goats, the greatest of all time. There's not like one guy. Like we joke about who's the greatest quarterback, who's the greatest safety, but when you all got a jacket on, you're all equal. And and that's one of the biggest feelings though, Tom, when we was at the honors, if you watched it last night, I don't know if they cut it off, but to see those guys rush the stage to welcome us into this uh, just kind of brotherhood was amazing.
yeah, yeah. You got introduced by Brett Favre, and Aaron Rodgers was there to give you a hug. It was there's a lot of Packers in the Hall of Fame, but it's really interesting that there was only two up until this week. There are only two from
Mhm.
your Super Bowl team, and that's kind of rare. And I think this was, another tribute to how great that team was, and that there were three Hall of Famers on that team.
Yeah, that's a great point because that was something that was told to me by Dick Vermeil, who got in. Dick Vermeil is a great coach. And he said most teams you get 2 or 3 guys, maybe one guy like Tony Baselli, with an expansion team like Jacksonville. But when you think about the Cowboys, they got a lot of guys in, but you mostly think about the three, Aikman, Irvin, and Emmett. So now we have our triplets. And then I thought about the 28 guys that the Packers have, and I always thought about myself. And one thing me and my mom talked about it, actually me and my wife talked about it about a month ago, that if I ever got in the Hall of Fame, when they put my name up there, Tom, it'll be all with the Packers. That makes a
Yes,
big
yes,
difference. That makes a big difference.
it does. Yeah, you know what? I had not thought about that. There's a lot of guys up there who didn't, or a number of guys up there who didn't finish their careers with Green Bay,
Yeah.
and you were lucky to do that. I want to tell the audience that if you have a question for LeRoy, I will ask him for you. And so please post it in the comments. I wanted to ask you before we do that, can you go through how you found out about the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I think I was at the week before the Packers were going to play San Francisco. I do a lot of Packer Hall of Fame tours, which I love to do because you get a chance to actually meet the fans, and I give them like a tour of the stadium, and I love doing that. And I this the Thursday before that game, I'm sorry, the Friday before the game, which so it was the day before because it was a Saturday game. My wife was on the tour with me. All of a sudden, she was missing. I'm like, and Tom, you know how I am with my wife. I always want her with me. I'm addicted to her.
Hmm.
So I said, "What is going on?" She was gone, and then I saw her down the hallway. She was on the phone, so immediately I'm thinking something wrong with my son.
Hmm.
Something happened, but she was talking to. So they told her first. They told all the wives that day, and so she's known for 2.5 weeks, and the knock thing was you'll see it tomorrow at 8 o'clock. I never imagined it that way because Mr. Baker always did it, but Jim Porter is the new guy. Tom, he's kind of a guy that he wants us to be more of a fraternity, like be more involved. So he got the players involved, which I thought was brilliant. And I remember looking out my door and the peephole and I saw Woodson. And at first it didn't register to me. And then when I open the door, you'll see my reaction tomorrow. I was very surprised.
Yeah, yeah, I can't wait to see that. That'll be on NFL Network tomorrow night.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
people, whoever, if you want to take a peek at that. Um, Great question here from Kevin Nett. Who do you want to do your induction speech? Have you decided on that yet?
Well, it would have if Coach Bobby Bowden was here, that would have been a slam dunk. I mean, because
Hmm.
he was just so instrumental in my life. Um, but I think if I had to choose somebody, it would be my wife because I don't think people know that when guys go through this, their families kind of prop them up and help them and cheer them on. And
Yeah.
she's been amazing. And so it'll probably be her because she know more about me than most people, and it'll be funny. But for the most part, if you live in the state of Wisconsin, you know a lot about LeRoy Butler. But so I'd say it would be my wife.
Based on what I know about you, yeah, she's an angel sent from heaven. Uh, so, uh, someone else asked, who is your greatest influence? Dave Lynn asked, who's your greatest influence in your football career?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, leadership wise, it was Reggie White because I really didn't know how to lead. Because I thought leaders, you just go play, but more leadership if by example and communication. And to let guys know from 21 to 31, we're all in this together. But probably one of my biggest influences, you know, oh, this is going to be tough, but it's just, oh, that's so tough.
Yeah, there are a
It's
lot of
just tough
influences, right?
because I always wanted to be like Ronnie Lott. He was the guy, he was the gold standard. And I just wanted to be my game. I wanted my game to be just like his. I mean, he did everything. I mean, he rushed the passer, he, you know, intercept passes, made big hits. So I tailored my game after him, and he's like the goat to me of safeties. So he was one of my biggest influences. I kind of changed my game a little bit later in my career to make it look like what he was doing it when he was in San Francisco.
Yeah. Jeffrey Olson wants to know, are you going to create a Hall of Fame burger for your next cookbook?
Hey, already done. Yes, yes. And a matter of fact, I had a couple things done with my brats. I'm going to do a new label. And for Lee Vodka, we're going to also do nice labeling because, and I will say this, my daughters, they do a lot of creative control with me, coming up with things. And so some good things on the horizon. Actually, my three middle daughters are writing my story, a documentary on my story.
Oh,
And,
nice.
and they kept like, Dad, can you get in so we can finish it? The ending keeps stopping because the ending is supposed to be me in the Hall of Fame. And they were like, finally, we can get back to writing. So that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Janet Salewski, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, I apologize if I'm not.
Yeah.
She asked, "What made you do the Lambeau leap?" And you've talked about that a lot. It was just
Yeah.
kind of sporadic, just in the moment. And but the second half of her question cracks me up, and is, "Do you still try to do
Well, two
it?"
things. First of all, it was spontaneous. It really was. It was spontaneous. I didn't. If you know me, I do a lot of weird stuff, but that was kind of at the time was amazing because I always loved the fans. I'm like, it's 10 below, and these fans are not going home. This is great that they're still here. So when I got that fumble running down and jumped up in the stands, I'll never forget that. But it's just, and yeah, I can still do the leap. They don't want to let you do it. But my good friend Charlie Barons, I taught him how to do it. It didn't turn out well. But
I'd
and
love
then,
to see the tape on that one.
oh yeah, if you go to his Instagram, it's up. Trust me, it's
Okay.
so funny. But the thing about the leap though is all about the fans.
Yeah.
And I really don't like calling them fans because they're stockholders, but the fans love that because without remember when COVID hit, they couldn't do the leap because the fans weren't in the stadium. So the fans are a big fabric of what we are as players, and I'm just glad that every time somebody talk about the leap, we're actually talking about the fans.
What's great on here as I'm going through all of these comments is how many people said, "Oh, I met you at this,
I
and
know,
you were
right?
so nice, and I met you there, and I met you there, and I told you you were going to go into the Hall of Fame." And so that's a real testament to how you get around in Wisconsin and stay true to your fans.
Yes, yes.
Um, there was another good question I was going to ask you. Oh, yeah. Tyler Pudliner asked, "What is your favorite career memory besides the leap and becoming a Super Bowl champ?"
You know what? We were playing the Chargers at home, and um, and I remember studying real hard about their formations.
Hmm.
And I remember saying, um, well, the coaches, I love my coaches because they always put me in a position to make plays. And Fritz Shermer was like, if they run this play out of this formation, you got to believe what you see. And I was so proud of myself. I studied all of their tendencies and everything. And lo and behold, in time you know this play, there's the play. I got excited because this is it, and they're going to throw it because he's going to look like he's open. And I think it was Terrell Fletcher, former Badge. I'm sorry, Terrell. He ran like a zigzag. We call it a Texas play, and I jumped it, ran in 90 yards, and I was so proud of that because it took hard work and studying to get that particular play. So I always dream about that play. I just do. It gives me chills thinking about it. And it was at Lambeau Field, and I'll never forget it.
Yeah, yeah. Have you ever been to the Hall of Fame other than we were there together when the Packers played in 1993, I think. You were on the team, I was covering the game. But have you ever been inside?
Well, when Brett went in, I went up there.
Okay.
That was the year they didn't play the game because of I think the field was bad
The
or something.
field was all messed up. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't play the game. So other than that, I've never been there. But I saw Kevin Mawai when he went through there, and he was on the bus with us. When he went through there, saw his bust and his shirts with his name on it, and Hall of Fame and where they put you at, he got very emotional, and most guys do. So it's going to be an emotional time in August because this fan base they've been looking forward to this. There's going to be a lot of partying. Trust me, in my honor. Trust me.
Yeah. Do you remember your first time, Jerry Wolf asked this. Do you remember your first time arriving in Green Bay?
Oh yeah, I'll never forget that because I was a 3 day holdout. Wasn't my fault. And I remember getting there, and it was so many fans there. I'm like, these people got to have jobs. I just can't. I mean, what are they just hanging around? I'm just a draft pick. And I remember um, they took me to the stadium, got me all processed, and they were on the practice field. And I remember Lindy and Fonte would say, "Oh, we finally got everybody on our team now. That the second round pick is here." Tom Bratz was my guy. I went upstairs, said hello to Bob Harlan, of course, and Tom Bratz, and he said, "Okay, we gave you the contract you wanted. Now go make plays." I said, "Yes, sir."
Mm-hmm.
I went down the back stairs, and the locker room's empty. I didn't have to say. I couldn't even say hello to my teammates. And I put a uniform on, and there was that 36, and I went down there, and the first guy I saw was Brian Noble, and
Mm.
Brian Noble was great, man. He was great. It was great, just to me, just teaching me how to be a man and how to grow up, and just welcome into the best franchise of all time.
Yeah. All right. Well, I know you've got a lot of stuff to do today. You're still in LA. You got to go to Disneyland and gosh knows what other stuff they've got you doing. I want you to get that suit right and your bust right. And I'm really looking forward to being there in August to cover that when it happens, and having you back in the office so we can do some more 5 questions. And I know your fans are really thrilled. You can tell by all the comments how happy they are for you.
Well, I love them, I really do, and I want to thank Bill Schultz because he's been amazing. I want to thank Cassidy; she's filled in this year. She's amazing, and Pete Doherty is just platinum, man. The guy is truly
Yes,
amazing.
yes.
Yeah, so Pete's my guy. But yeah,
Pete,
we got a lot to talk. We got a lot to talk about because Aaron Rodgers, like I said, who I saw, and I talked to Mark Murphy. So we got to figure this thing out. And Matt LaFleur has to get an extension. So does Gutekunst. So it's a lot of Packer stuff we'll get to in the next week or so. But yeah, we'll get back to work after this is done.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And I look forward to seeing you again. And once again, congratulations from all of us, and have a good rest of the weekend.
All right. Thank you very much, Tom. Bye bye.